Hello everyone. Welcome back to Geography's Chapter 3, Our Changing Earth. Previously, you have studied about endogenic forces, lithospheric plates, and volcanoes. Now, in this part, we will be coming to know about the earthquakes and its kinds of earthquake, case study, steps to minimize the effects of earthquake, and diastrophic forces. Earthquakes. Earthquakes are sudden vibrations or violent tremors shaking felt on the earth's surface due to internal forces. The point inside the crust where the vibrations originate is called focus. The place on the surface of the earth directly above the focus is called the epicenter. Come towards the diagram. Children, you can see a red dot in between where the focus is written. That is known as the center point of earthquake. There, when a disbalance occurs between the lithospheric plates, it is having a vibration. That vibration is being affected on the upper part. Straight when it goes up, that is known as the epicenter, which is being indicated with the dot dot. That is the epicenter. There the effect is being felt to be most as compared towards the other areas. It is known as the origin. Now, some of the terms which you should be having the knowledge that I'm telling you. Seismology. What is it? Seismology is the study of the behavior of earthquake or seismic waves. Seismologists are those experts who study the pattern of earthquake. Pattern means whenever an earthquake takes place and the experts who are studying on it, that what does it mean, how much of magnitude of earthquake occurs, all these things the person who studies, they are known as the seismologist. The instrument used to record the earthquake tremors is called seismograph. One of the record is there in which we come to know about the magnitude, how much of magnitude it has appeared, whether it is of 4 or 6, whatever the magnitude is there. Then the scale used to measure the intensity of the seismic waves during the tremors is called the Richter scale. Let's come towards the kinds of earthquake waves. Three kinds of earthquake waves are primary, which is being mentioned by P waves. It is the fastest and foremost waves. Secondary, indicated by S waves. It is transverse waves. They do not pass through liquids. Then surface waves. Their effect is not observed at great depths, but it is having the most effect on the surface because epicenter is having more destruction to be shown as compared towards the beneath the earth. Then let us come towards the case study related towards Bhuj earthquake which appeared during the year of 2001. During this time period, that means on the day of Republic, 26th January in 2001, turned out to be a date with death for thousands of people in Gujarat. A major earthquake measuring between 6.9 and 7.9 on the Richter scale hit Bhuj, Anjar, Bachau, Gandhidham, Ropar, and Ahmedabad. It caused extensive damage to life and property. Children, actually what happened that time? Focus means the area beneath the earth, that means 23 kilometer below surface, the earthquake generated intense shaking which was felt in 70% of India and far beyond in neighboring Pakistan and Nepal. And the epicenter was being felt in these areas which we have read just now, Bhuj, Anjar, Bacha, all these areas were the epicenter area. That's why the effect was on a larger scale, and so it caused extensive damage to life and property. More than 30,000 people died and 1,50,000 people were injured during this earthquake. So it was a really very sad time period during the time of the Republic Day. Now, we cannot predict the earthquake. It's a fact. But some of the measures we can take to be safe from that earthquake. What are the preparations we can take? Here, let us come to know. First, safe spots. Safe spots means the areas like when if you are caught in an earthquake, you are there and earthquake appears, at that time you sit under a strong table or desk, under a kitchen corner. Just stay away from the areas like fireplaces, glass windows, picture frames, because they may can create problem for you. Then the best thing is that be confident when the time of earthquake is there and you are in caught of it. Be prepared, spread awareness among your friends and relatives, and you should be calm and face that time period, that disaster, in a confident manner. Some of the things which we can observe before coming of the earthquake, that means observe changing animal behavior like bears and snakes coming out of hibernation. Snakes here we are mentioning just because of the reason that they are living in the holes in the ground area, and when the vibration occurs they feel it in a very clear manner, and that's why they come out of their holes, because they knew it that certain natural change is coming. Also, we can see among the animals like fishes who are jumping out of water in the either in the oceans or in the rivers or ponds are some indications of an oncoming earthquake. These things were being observed by the tribals and the people who used to live long years back. Presently, we are having the machines to come to know, but these are also some of the indications which we can see forward. Then comes the diastrophic forces. Diastrophic, as we have read earlier, it is a very slow process which takes place and with which we can have the result of the even the continent making or the mountain building. This is another endogenic force. Endogenic means inside the earth when certain things takes place. Endogenic forces acting over long periods are called diastrophic force. These may be continent building or mountain building forces. Means millions of years of process when it takes place, it results in the mountain building. Example, you can say the Himalayas of your country. They are known as young fold mountains. Although they are thousands of years back being made, but it was a long process of making it can you cannot say that when you slept at that time it was nothing, and when you wake up certain new things came out. It's not like that. Dystrophic takes lot of time period and the changes occurs with the millions of years. Then in the images you can see these are the different tectonic plates, or you can say the lithospheric plates, which takes place with a slow process. And in this, the vertical movements results in the formation of continents and plateaus, whereas horizontal tectonic movements result in folds and faults. So this is how we can see we have understood the endogenic forces. Now let's come to another important topic of earth movements. Previously we have read about endogenic. Now let's come towards the exogenic forces. Exo means outer and genic means origin. So this is another important topic of earth movements which we are going to read forward. The forces that work on the surface of the earth is known as exogenic forces. The two processes that continuously wear down the rocks on the earth's surface are weathering and erosion. Now these are two important terms you have to note down: weathering and erosion. They gradually alter the landscape and create different landforms. Here is a difference with which you can clearly understand the difference between weathering and erosion. Weathering, it is actually a breaking up of rocks on the earth's surface. They are mainly caused by elements of weather like temperature changes, frost action, or due to chemical changes. You can see a picture. In this picture, a rock is there, and when a continuous force of wind, water occurs, at that time that particular rock is break up into small pieces. You can say small stones are there. and when these small stones are being crushed, they move apart, they just come down. Now what happens to these weathering rocks? Let's see in the erosion. It is the wearing down, erosion. Let's see what erosion says. It is the wearing down and carrying away of the rocks by the action of running water, glaciers, sea waves, or wind. The eroded materials are transported and deposited. Now, what weathering has taken the process, it is continuously being eroded. Eroded means, suppose the rock which has been fragmented into small pebbles with the pressure of wind, water, or the sea waves, it is being eroded from one place to another. That means shifting from one place to another, that is known as erosion. So these are the two different things. Weathering means breaking up. Erosion means taking away from that particular place towards the other place with the natural forces. That is known as erosion. So this is how, children, you must have understand the difference between weathering and erosion. This is how we complete today this topic, and in the next we will be coming to know about different exogenic forces. Thank you everyone. God bless you all.